What's up, YouTube? This your boy Tone again, coming back at you with your most infamous YouTube channel, CHEVYS R US. Once again, it doesn't matter. It could be an old school Chevy, it could be a new school Chevy. It don't even matter. It can even be a Scion, as long as it got a Chevrolet engine in it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Now, I'm coming at you today. I'm actually with my neighbor today. He has a 2014 Scion. Yeah, it's not a Chevy. I bet you're saying, how's this going to be a Chevy channel and we're working on non-Chevys? Well, I'm going to explain that to you. I'm gonna explain that to you, and it's all going to make sense after I explain it to you. I'm actually here with my neighbor. I'll let you guys meet him in just a few minutes. But first, I want to just talk to you real quick. He's my neighbor. He's a young man, maybe 19, 20 years of age. He lives right down the street from me. And I'm going to tell you why I'm here, how I came to this point. Okay? If you are a believer, if you are a follower of Jesus Christ, God tells us to love your neighbor. Okay, yeah, I know that hurt. I know that hurt. Yeah, that's hard. That's tough. But I'm here to tell you, loving your neighbor is one of God's greatest commandments. Okay? And it tells us, you know, I encourage you to look it up yourself. The first thing he tells us to do is to love our God, love him with all of our heart, with all of our soul, and with all of our mind. That's the first thing he tells us to do. And the second most important thing that God commands us to do is to love your neighbor. I encourage you to read Matthew 22. Look it up for yourself. Do the research yourself. Pray to God, ask God to clear your heart, clear your mind, clear your soul. And then after you pray, break your Bible app out. Get on Google. Take those scriptures, go back to your Bible app and read those scriptures. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So loving your neighbor is very, very important. And it pleases God. Okay? Now, let me tell you a little bit about my history. You know, before I became saved, you know, we're all covered by grace. But before I was saved, I used to live in a little small town called Columbus, Georgia. It's not that small, but I come from a pretty rough side of town. You know, I used to live on a rough side of town, me and my family. And my neighbors, you know, I took pride in my neighbors. You know, we used to feed people, me and my wife. You know, we would barbecue, we'll pass plates out, feed the people, feed our neighbors. You know, we used to take care of our neighbors. You know, our neighbors would come to us to borrow things. You know, we give them what they need. We give them water. Some people, water was cut off. Hey, Tony, hey, can we get some water? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and get some water. You know? So it's very, very important to love your neighbor. What is love? You know? I bet you're probably saying, well, what is love? Love is being kind. It's being kind. Love is being generous. Love is caring, really having a sincere heart and caring. Love is without boast, without boasting. Love is not anger. Love is not abrasive. I encourage you. I encourage you to do the research yourself. Pray about it. And just see what God has to say about love. Love is God. Love is actually God sending his son to earth to die. Sacrificing his son so that you and me can have a relationship with him. That's what love is. Love is sacrificing your own life, your own wants, so that you can live and please him, so that you can live and be obedient to him, live the way he wants you to live. That's what love is. So I'm here today with a passionate heart, with a caring heart, to help my neighbor out. And like I said in my previous video, I use my gifts and my talents to connect with my neighbors. Let me tell you, love is you working all night, 12 hours at night. You coming home 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's cold outside. And you so tired, and you getting ready to lay down in the bed and go to sleep. But you look outside, and you see your neighbor with their hood up. Love is getting back up, putting your clothes back on, going outside, going over there to check on your neighbor. You never knew what they may be going through. And in 5 minutes of your time, you got their car back up and running because their battery terminal need cleaning. Love is finding the perfect opportunity to connect with your neighbor. Using your gifts and your talents that God gave you at the right moment and the right time. I can, it's numerous of times where I seen my neighbors, with the car jacked up in the driveway. Me just stopping saying, hey, introducing myself. Hey, I'm such and such. I'm Tony Heath, man. I live right down the street. I seen you with your car jacked up. I just wanted to stop and check and make sure, you don't need any help, or you got all the necessary tools that you need, or if you just need a second opinion about something that you're working on. I ain't no expert, but I do have a gift. I do know how to work on cars, and I've been doing it majority of my life. Love is finding that opportunity, finding that moment, sacrificing what you have to do. Check on your neighbor. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough. Love is not cussing that person out at the store. That person at the store, that's God's child too. You love God, you love his children. You may not like what they do to you at times, but that's not love. So I encourage you. I encourage you to pray about it. And I encourage you to read it yourself. Matthew 22, where God commands us the 2 greatest commandments of all. To love him with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, and to love your neighbor as if you love yourself. God mentions love your neighbor numerous times in the Bible. And this is for you. If you are a follower, if you are a believer, if you have been saved, then this is for you. So this is why I'm here today. getting ready to work on my neighbor's car. He's got some audio issues with his sound system, and we're going to look at it. We're going to determine whether his speakers are busted or if his head unit needs to be replaced. Whatever it is, you know, this is a perfect opportunity, perfect example of what I was talking about in my last video. I never worked on a Scion before, but once again, you got YouTube, you know, you could go on YouTube, you can see how to do things, you know, you can learn it, you know, perfect opportunity. So I just wanted to rap to you. I'm going to get back with you in just a second. We're going to meet him. I'm going to give him the opportunity to say something to you guys, and then we're going to get right into this thing. Glad to have you. See you in a minute.